So here is the thing, my brothers and sisters. I don't like to be inconsistent. I like to be consistent in whatever I'm doing. If I start something, I want to do it to my best, and when I need to do it. Unfortunately, this time around, I've been having challenges to be consistent on my programs for a number of reasons. Part of the reason is that just being here is a little bit difficult. You see, right now, I've just come to the gym, and you people are just going to sleep, but here, the day is just starting. And so, to do the program at that time and, manage, it's like I'm living between two time zones. And I'm finding it a little bit difficult to really have things working smoothly there, because I can't find the right time that is good for me here and that is good for you back home. Following the time back home, it disturbs other things. For example, when I wake up, I have to wake up around 01:30 for me to do that program. But then I also need to go to church at 6:30. So if I wake up at 01, 02, I'm doing the program, which goes up to about 04, 04:30. I can't sleep and then wake up to go to church at 6 hours. So that is one of the challenges. In the evening, I have a challenge. You find that people here, there is activity. There is activity that goes on up to about 00. Like, for example, at church, we have, meetings that start at 20 hours. 20 hours, that is when the meeting is starting, and then it will go on up to 22, sometimes 23. So you have long days here, and yet I have to sleep a bit and then wake up at 02, do my program, to fit into the Zambian time, then come back, fit into this time here where I have to start my day early. Basically here, the days start early and they end late. So it is pretty much a problem, and that I'm finding it difficult. Of course, there are other reasons. Other reasons is part of the frustration that some of the things, that I advocate for don't seem to go very well, don't seem to go very well. Sometimes I wish I was on the ground, I were on the ground and then, do this and that. But, just being here and talking, sometimes it's a little bit of a challenge. Of course, my family issues, they can also really drain me. I tell you, family issues can also really drain me. Living apart in this situation is also not easy. It's not easy. Of course, other issues is also, some of my friends, some of those people that I count on, sometimes they also just put me off in the way that they do things, So it's a number of challenges.
But I know somebody will say, well, come back home and whatever. The challenge is that also that, there is no home for me in Zambia at the moment. As long as the Hakainde Hichilema is in power, there is no home for me. The moment I come back to Zambia, Nigeria, and I think I'm better off here doing the little that I do than being in Zambia and being in jail. I know even when I think of my family, sometimes it affects me in the sense that I'm not doing much for my family. I'm not able to, attend to most of their needs and other things. But I ask myself, what is better? being in prison where I can't even speak to them. At least here, I can even call them. I can encourage them. I can advise, you know. So at least by the fact that I'm here, though I'm not able to provide as much as, I'm supposed to, there is something that is positive about being here. And what is positive is that I can talk to them, I can, advise, and yeah, it's just different. Look, here I can even do gym, You won't get these facilities in our Zambian prisons. It's terrible there. It's really terrible. So somehow I say this is an open prison for me. I take it like it's an open prison for me. Yeah, it's not easy. Exile is not easy. Exile is not easy. This is not in diaspora, because some people, they take me like I'm in diaspora. Some of you even ask for money. It's not the same. It's not the same. All I can do is talk and do what I can to live. And these exercises are what keeps me going, because most of the times I am indoor. And this is why it frustrates me so much when I don't see things happening properly back home.
The issue of eligibility, for example. I'm not one person that wants to be disillusional or pretend that things are not happening. I'm a person that wants to look at things realistically, see where they are going, and possibly prepare for, other steps. I always want to be ahead of things. I don't want to be behind. Now, when you look at the issue of eligibility, it is very clear that Hakainde Hichilema and the entire UPND system, they have resolved to eliminate Edgar Chwagalungu from contesting the next elections. They know that having Edgar Chwagalungu contesting the elections is very risky for them. They might lose the elections. So they have resolved, in no uncertain terms, they have resolved to bar Edgar Chwagalungu. And the courts are not going to help us. I've always argued that you don't do politics in court. You don't do politics in court. Because those people who are in court are also part of the political system. They are also part of the political system. And usually they favor those who are in government. And it doesn't matter who is in government. Even if it were Edgar Lungu, even if it were me, those people have got families. They're human beings. They look at their interests. They look at what is at stake. So playing politics in court is not the way. Forget it, going to court and say I'm going to fight political battles in court. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So for me, I don't see justice being rendered to Edgar Chwagalungu. So, in my view, we needed to fight this outside the court. And how could we have done this? We could have done it. Those people that are supporting Edgar Chwagalungu should have come forth to put pressure, because at the end of the day, power belongs to the people. And unless those people, stand up, the political system will always favor the powerful. Unless people who are the ultimate custodian of power, unless they stand up, we will not have justice. So in this case, If those people who are really in support of Edgar Chagwa Lungu came forth and put pressure on the political system, it would have worked. But unfortunately, it does not seem to be happening. We have tried to push, I personally, I will tell you that I've tried to push that people who are saying they support Edgar Chagwa Lungu would be able to stand up for Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Unfortunately, those people, they are nowhere to be seen. They are nowhere to be seen. There is no political pressure. There is no people power pushing for Edgar Chagwa Lungu to contest the elections. And it is all left in the hands of the courts. And like I've said, you can never get a justice on political matters in court. So, from the way I see it, Edgar Lungu is going to be bad. And the people that claim to be supporting Edgar Chagwa Lungu are not stepping forward to fight for Edgar Chagwa Lungu, or better still, to fight with Edgar Chagwa Lungu, because this is a fight. It's a fight. And unfortunately, I don't think we are putting up, you know, the best that we can in this fight. I don't think we are. From a number of fronts, we are not putting up a good fight to win this. And if somebody thought that it's going to be easy, it's going to be given, you know, like a bacon on a plate, it's not going to happen. Hakainde Hichilema will not let go of presidency without a fight. He's going to fight. And it's not only him fighting, it is also the system around him. It is also the powers that are behind Hakainde Hichilema. You know, Hakainde Hichilema was a big project for big conglomerates, for big institutions, for big countries. For a number of years, Hakainde Hichilema was their project until they managed to install him in State House. I don't think these people will allow Hakainde Hichilema to lose power within 5 years, unless there is a fight, a fight, and not what we are doing. There is no fight now. There is no fight. There is no fight unless there is real fight. That is when Hakainde Hichilema can leave that power. He won't give that power to anyone easily unless there is that fight.
Si mwebena Zambia Chilufya. No, Shani, without Lungu, there will be no elections. Without Lungu, there will be no elections. But ka initiative kai to show that muli serious for mlefu Lungu abe pa ballot. Mufilemo wako a little bit more serious. Because hii game ina ikosa ilo ngata tuchenjere yara tupita and twala ishara muli mwamone. It's the people need to stand up, the people need to come out, so not to ama theories here.
And then there is this argument that other people are making to say if Edgar Lungu is disqualified, then the last election is nullified. I've gotten intel what the UPND legal minds are saying, and this is what they are going to bring before court. They are preparing themselves for that challenge. They are preparing themselves in the case that Edgar Lungu's eligibility case is done away with. Then some legal arguments come up where people file to say no, because he was not eligible, so the elections of the 2021 is now void. Well, the legal minds of the UPND has an argument that it's the elections. Since he lost the elections, he was not eligible, but since he lost the elections, I mean the elections of 2021 are still valid. So this is the argument that the UPND are preparing to come and argue before the court that yes, Edgar Lungu was not eligible, but since he lost, the elections remain valid. So, in a way, these guys, they have gone miles ahead to prepare for everything, to put aside Edgar Lungu and then continue with business as usual. And like I said, it all comes down to the issue of you cannot fight political battles in court. Only people can fight political battles according to what they want or who they want to lead them. Unless people stand up, you don't expect courts to do anything. So that is what is on the table. And these are some of the things that are basically bothering me and to some extent frustrating me.
You see, things will always be the same unless the people themselves fight. There is an attitude of, thinking that somebody's going to do it. Nobody's going to do it for you. You have to fight by yourselves.
Ero ngakufi konkafia ngakufi konkava kulanda ve church never so for you. I'm seeing very few people committed to this cause. Very few people committed to this cause. Even those that you are supposed to expect that vafile vakosa vale fuma vale landa nothing imdara, nothing tatureru inkondo ya kwanina tetumpoke power so mdara mpoka power ati okutamsha mumbwe nenzeko tetfiwombe tetfiwombe mdara tufuire yarikava kupoke charo ukobati mutampo kuteka tepanono iyo tekavati mwafumya mwashingurikira kumwaimya kwamaboko mwashingurikira kumwaimya kwamaboko varumba charira ati yo turepoka power yeah. Anyway, kature utuka fefine mumfifi kutwa chitashana ubuchushi buri pari ifwe.